Hey friends, Pastor David here with this week's Midweek Minute. So we're spending a few weeks in the book of Galatians. Paul wrote it to some of the churches that he started in this region of Galatia in his time. And the real purpose of the book of Galatians is to try to refute some of the conversation that was happening with the Jewish missionaries that often followed Paul into the places where he preached and taught freedom in Jesus Christ. And these missionaries would come behind him and say, no, you have to not only believe in Jesus, but you have to become Jewish as well. You have to obey all of the requirements of the law. And Paul sat down and wrote this letter to the churches in Galatia, and it's a fiery letter. It's the most fiery letter of any of the letters that Paul has written. But we talked this past weekend a little bit about the fact that when Jesus Christ comes into a life, we simply get connected to God by Him through faith now. That because of what He has done, it isn't the obedience to the Old Covenant, the Old Testament that gets us connected to God. It is connection to Jesus. It is a willingness to trust our life to Him that gets us connected to God. And now that Old Covenant, that Old Testament has a different role in our lives. It becomes a way for us to worship God. It becomes stories of inspiration and hope and courage for the lives that you and I live. And Paul really says, take your lead from Jesus. Remember that. Whenever you start to think about relationship with God, take your lead from Jesus. Follow Him, Paul says. In this world where there's so many things to follow, Paul would say to you and to me, follow Jesus. Why? Because Jesus Himself says, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus Christ is the one that gets us connected to the one who put us together. Jesus Christ is the one that shows us what our lives are intended to be. Jesus Christ gets us connected, reveals to us the heart of the one that put us together, the heart of God our Father, a heart of mercy and love and grace. And my challenge to you this week was to remember when you find yourself behind someone. One of the definitions of the word follow is to move or travel behind someone or something. When you find yourself behind someone somewhere this week, let that be a trigger for you to think about who's in front of you. Who are you following? Are you following Jesus in the way you think about yourself, in the way you think about other people, in the way that you engage the world? Are you following Jesus? Because it's Jesus that gets us connected to the one whose love will never let us go. This coming week, we're going to be in Galatians again, and we're going to talk about this word freedom. What does freedom in Jesus Christ mean for you and for me and the lives that we live? I hope that you can be with us Saturday night at 6 o'clock for a bit more of a traditional experience, Sunday morning at 10:30 for more of a contemporary experience of worship. And remember, there are online campuses for both of those services at 6 o'clock and at 10:30. So I hope that you can be with us. Until then, I hope you have a great week. And remember, keep looking up, and I'll see you later.